my friends, and welcome to 2022. Which very upsettingly is exactly like 2021. I don't know about you, but sometimes I like to wake up on the 1st of January, run to my window, and hope to see aliens or something. We got nothing. I mean, I didn't even grow my hair back, but let's not worry about that because the train of power and the train of fun continues to roll down the tracks. Because my name is Simon from WhatCulture, and we had AEW Rampage last night on New Year's Eve. So we have to take the finger of power and give the good bits and up and the bad bits are down. Now, a couple of things. There was no smacker down because it was like a best of and we cut ups and downs for that. But also because it is New Year's Day, there are no editors. I shall be doing the editing. But very sadly, at the moment, I'm like on the go because it's still Christmas week. So I don't have all my fun toys. So it's just going to be, kind of not standard, but just there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, make sure you go back a few days. You will be surprised. Let's up those downs for AEW Rampage. Anthony Bowen versus Darby Allin was our first match on this week's episode of AEW Rampage, and I just want to get out there. I really like the Acclaim. I don't know why. When I see them, I'm just like, hee, there are my boys in the future. You can absolutely do something mega with them. But they're just such wonderful assholes in the best possible way, and of course because Darby Allin was also in this match, Stinger's at ringside, so just when you observed the squared circle, it made you feel all warm and fuzzy in your tum-tum. And as ever, the only problem here was that I don't think anybody actually thought Anthony Bowens had a chance here, because Darby Allin became such a super duper star in 2021, but my word, did he do the best thing here. Because at one point, Max Caster just jumped on the apron. He was going distraction, which cost him 15 MP, but he should have gone for mega distraction, because Darby, he didn't even look at him. He put his hand in the air and he flipped him the bird. And I was like, Darby Allin, thank you for watching professional wrestling and actually understanding, well, if somebody else does try to distract me, I'll ignore him and focus on my opponent. Now, yes, it didn't work because Anthony Bowens was still able to get the upper hand and flubbed me sideways. Do you know what Bo did? He took Darby Allin and he whipped him into the ring post, and Darby Allin took the most ridiculous bump into it. And I know that Darbs has come out and said, oh man, I'm not gonna wrestle for a long time. And I'm like, no, you will not, Mr. Allin, if you keep taking falls like this. Darby then got beaten up for a while, but he was still trying to bust out the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up, because again, he actually is watching wrestling and he understands. But that sequence ended with Anthony Bowens hitting this crazy DDT, and like a fool, he put his foot on the ropes. I was like, Ant, what are you doing? You probably would have had this match won, but the referee saw it, so he stopped the pin. And this is something else I'm hoping to see in 2022. It's so nice wrestlers not falling for distractions, and it's so nice for referees to go, wait a minute, something smells off, I'm gonna check. It all built to one of Darby Allin's ridiculous dives, but actually Max Caster stopped him, and this is when Sting turned on. And no, I didn't say it turned Sting on. I'm saying he'd been stood there for a long time, and when he did see this, he started to kick people's ass. It did open up the door for Allin to actually hit his suicide dive, and as always, nobody else should be doing it because his are so good. He got back in the ring, he nailed the coffin drop, he got the 1, 2, 3. What a fun, solid match. And we weren't done at all because afterwards we went back to the distractions because of all the people out came Andrade. And I was like, does this mean we're going to do Andrade versus Darby Allin? Maybe we're going to do Andrade versus Sting. But it did cause such a ruckus that the Acclaim took the boombox, they smashed it into the Stinger's face, and then they took their steel chain and they punched Darby Allin. I was like, well, that wasn't very nice now, was it? So this is absolutely going somewhere, and I did not see it coming. I am quite excited, which is why I'm giving it up. And then after this, we got one of Taz's I'm Gonna Break Down a Move video that we used to get ages ago, and I was really pleased these had returned because the way Taz talks about wrestling moves kind of makes it all feel really legit. It was even better because he was talking about Hook, his son. He was like, oh man, look at this suplex. He really grabbed him in the hip bone. And oh my gosh, look at his finishing maneuver, the Red Rum, which you probably remember as the Taz mission. This is why it hurts. And this is why you don't want to get locked into it. Just made Hook feel like an absolute monster, and as we said before, and as we will say again, we absolutely have something with Hook, especially because he has such lovely hair. And yes, that was me whimsically looking off into the distance, because I will never know such love. And then, well, my friends, I need to apologize. I am not above that, because it was Anna Jay teaming up with her best friend Ty Conte to take on Penelope Ford and the Bunny. And do you remember in that Anchorman movie when Ron Burgundy's like, well, that escalated quickly? That was basically the definition of our next match, because they had a street fight. Oh my gosh. It was crazy. Because I think even last week I've been saying, like, the feud's been fine, but it's been going on too long, and I don't understand what the culmination is going to be. And as it turned out, the answer was absolute death. Like, even the brass knucks, which have been a feature of the whole thing, Anna Jay took them and she punched the bunny right in her face, and the amount of blood that was pouring from her head, I was like, somebody ring a local medical facility wagon. There was also this moonsault from the top to the outside through a table between Penelope Ford and Ty Conte. But here's the real piece of information you need to know. That piece of wood didn't break, and I am not kidding you. We got all the way up to December the 31st, 2021 before we had the worst bump of the entire year. It looked absolutely horrible because, of course, the point of the table is that it breaks your fall. So this was just two people coming together like a human sandwich. We then had more blood because Penelope had a steel bottle and she was just smashing it over people's head, and then we saw suplexes through chairs. We saw tables finally breaking before the bunny got some thumbtacks. I was like, oh man, thumbtacks, boy howdy do I hate thumbtacks. It was basically the bunny that did go into these damn things after a superplex from the top rope, but when she was back to her feet and she had the knucks again, she was like, ha ha, I'm gonna punch somebody in the skull. But she slipped in the thumbtacks, close your eyes, pretend it didn't happen, so basically did splits into the thing, meaning they went right into her ass. And I watched it and I was like, yep, that's some pins right into that woman's ass. Talk about sacrificing for your craft. We also saw Ty Conte pile drive Penelope Ford off the apron through another table, and given this ended when Anna Jay applied the Queen Slayer to the bunny with some flipping barbed wire around her forearm. You just gotta give him a round of applause. Like, you may not be into street fights, and that's absolutely fine, but when it comes to effort and giving it your all, I'm just gonna clap again. Everybody do the seal clap. This was insane. And as I've already said, I totally accept the escalation here. It was like, wait, what? Where the hell did that come from? But you couldn't take your eyes off it. It was like car crash TV, the sheer dedication here, and of course I'm giving it an up. There'll be one person out there going, nyah, 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 and a bunch of nonsense spewing out of their mouth. Just think about it from a human being point of view. Bravo. We then had this video for the world title match that's happening on Dynamite between Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. And this was so well put together. At the end I was like, I think this may be the most important thing that has ever happened in my life. And then it was time for TNT title action between Cody Rhodes and Ethan Page. And I'll level with you, I was excited. And we did all the stuff with Mark Henry, which has become a staple of Rampage, but the best bit was straight away I sat there and I thought to myself, well, what the hell is gonna happen? Because Cody Rhodes is involved, and that is one of the best things about wrestling. The fans, as ever, was split over the American Nightmare, although I completely think now we're just doing it because it's a fun thing to do. And even Arn Anderson has become a little bit of a dick, because at one point he just grabbed Ethan Page's foot and he tripped him up. And that allowed his boy to get back into it, so he was like, well, that wasn't a very nice thing to do, Mr. Anderson. But even when Ethan Page started to fight back, Cody was like, nah, brah, that ain't happening. And he chop blocked his leg, and then he started to go to work on his knee. And I'm probably pulling at straws here, and it's nice to do that, because you don't want to pick up a cup and drink it from the disgusting glass, you want to use a straw. But at one point, Cody Rhodes was going for the figure four leg lock, and he then changed it into a death lock. Now, I could be completely wrong. Again, I'm a moron. Look at me. What the hell am I? But didn't one Triple H used to do that submission move? I am going to say yes, because it makes me feel like a massive nerd. Page didn't like this at all, though, because he was like, I need my leg for walking. So all of a sudden, he went rah, and he started to fight back, and he did these awesome shoulder tackles and finished it off with this amazing DDT, but he only got a 2. For some reason, that worried Scorpio Sky. I was like, look, your boy's doing really well. So he started to beat up Cody Rhodes. That's when Dustin Rhodes ran in. He started to beat up Scorpio Sky. And those two just fought their way into the abyss because we never saw them again. The cool part about that was it took your eyes off the ring, so we went back to there. Cody hit this crossroads for a super near 2. Wow, wow, wow. Wow. He also ripped Ethan Page's leg brace off because, of course, he's half dark side, half light side. And then he was going to do something crazy off the rope. I have no idea what it was. He just springboarded onto that. But Ethan Page was like, nah, that ain't happening. And he reversed it and he just smashed Cody's ass. And I know that's not the best use of words. I apologize. The point is we had another false finish, and I started to think, well, what way is this going to go? We also saw ego edges get blocked, and we saw disaster kicks get hit. But clearly Ethan has been watching Cody's matches recently, because when he went for the Tiger Driver, he reversed it into the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, but he only got a 2. And my man, Ethan, my boy, you should have stuck to that strategy, because then it all went wrong. Because he was relying on his big finishing move, but Cody scouted that, and he then went into his now traditional finish, I suppose, which was 2 Crossroads, the Tiger Driver 1998, which, yes, of course, one day he will hit the pedigree and the internet will melt down, and he got 1, and he got 2, and he got 3, and he is still your TNT champion. And if you haven't seen this yet, when he does make the pin, look at his face when the referee finally does smack the mat for the last count. He looks so damn evil. Dan Lambert also looked like his head was about to fall off because he was so mad, and this is my most anticipated persona in all of 2022, because Cody must have something planned, like he's got a new t-shirt that says face heel winner and the winner box is tick. I absolutely love it, and it is getting it up. So as ever, it was just another very easy to watch episode of Rampage. And I say easy to watch, but that street fight, oh man, I tell you, it added 10 years onto my life. No, it didn't add 10 years. It took 10 years. Imagine that. Imagine you watch a wrestling match, oh great, I'm gonna live to 110. The point is, it was very, very fun. If you are looking of 60 minutes of wrestling today, then it's getting it up. Now, please do leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's AEW Rampage. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com. Keep up to date with all the wrestling news. Come say hello on social media. And we have a lot of videos, not SmackDown ups and downs. It doesn't exist. So go watch something else. My name is Simon for WhatCulture. Thank you for joining me as always. And seriously, have a great 2002. Have a lovely 12 months. Thank you for your support. And take that madness, darling, turn it up. Because we about to get freaky deaky. I know why I say this stuff. Goodbye.